Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks again for joining me. I'm back here, and we're going to be doing two sign placements or two planet placements in different signs, and that's going to be Mercury in Taurus as well as Jupiter in Taurus. Mercury was supposed to be yesterday, Wednesday, March 3rd, but my Monday and Wednesdays are very busy, and I was not able to get to it. So we're going to do two in one day. So Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury is communication style, our speech, the intelligent part of our mind, how well we learn things, how aggressive we are, how passive we are with our speech. And having Mercury in Taurus, these people aren't unintelligent. They're actually very smart, but they take a long time to make a decision or to express their mind. So they are slow. I don't want to say slow thinking, but slow to express their thinking. They're very traditional and conservative with their thought process, and they're very likely to be shy when you first meet them. But now, once they open up, you get to see a lot of different aspects of their mind and all of their intelligence and thinking process that's really great. Um, they don't like to change their mind. So once they make up their mind about something, it's pretty much set in stone. So, and that comes into play when they make their opinions about other people. So let's say you're on a first date with someone with a Mercury and Taurus, and you don't give off a great first impression, or you give off a first impression that they don't really see eye to eye with, it's going to be hard to change their mind. Um, they're pretty calm and cool under pressure, very practical and down to earth, and that's the general characteristics of someone of any planet in Taurus is very down the earth, practical. So it's an earth sign as well as a fixed sign. So you know they their mind goes to earthly matters, things from the physical world, and it's a fixed sign, so they don't often go away from what they're used to doing. They may talk a little slower, and they may be slow to react intellectually, but they're actually really smart, and they're not dumb or they don't lack intelligence. Um, with the influence of Venus with this sign, as Venus is in its home sign in Taurus, along with Libra, they're very artistic and they have a lot of common sense. So, which is when it comes to believing certain aspects or certain things, in the bigger picture of the universe, they tend to be a little slower because they're usually more of the, science and proven facts and things like that. So their spirit isn't as strong as someone, let's say, with like a Mercury in Pisces. Um, they kind of have more of a traditional approach towards those matters. Yeah, so that's Mercury in Taurus. Mercury is not in a debilitation or a fall with this placement, um, as Taurus is somewhat related to Virgo, and Virgo would be the home sign of Mercury, one of two home signs. So it's a pretty neutral position. There's some positives, there's some negatives. But yeah, it's not the perfect spot for Mercury, but it's definitely, there's definitely some positives with having this placement. And if you tune in just a minute, we will get into Jupiter in Taurus. All right, next is Jupiter in Taurus. So Jupiter is your knowledge, your expansion, growth. Also represents luck and fortune, um, represented by the Wheel of Fortune card in the tarot. And so Taurus is a neutral spot for Jupiter, as Jupiter is at its home in Sagittarius and Pisces. So um, the other earth sign, Virgo, is a bad spot for Jupiter, as well as Gemini, which is one sign away from Taurus. Um, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means Capricorn would be the fall of Jupiter. So the fall is the opposite sign of the exalted sign. Exalted is a very good placement for each planet. It's where it's at its peak. It's not its home sign, it's where it gets a boost. Like the exalted sign of Mars would be Capricorn, just the opposite. So as you look at it, Taurus is the only neutral spot for Jupiter in all of the Earth signs. So, and Jupiter really isn't an earthy type of planet. It's more about expansion, growth, and spirituality and philosophy and things not related to the earth, to earthly matters. Um, and now for Jupiter and Taurus, growth is best after you have found a real stability within your life, within yourself, within your personal relationships and your environment. Um, these people do best when they are around people and supported by people who are supportive and loving to them. Um, there's great luck with finances throughout your life. Your career and your work is very important for you. That's where you show most of your growth. Um, you really value the relationships you make within your line of work or your career, really depending on what house it's in. For example, if it's Jupiter in Taurus in the 10th house, and there's definitely going to be an emphasis on improving your career and improving how other people see you with your colleagues and others in your work, your line of work. For example, if you were a doctor, it would be important for you to be valued highly and respected highly with other doctors in your field. A great placement for those who want, who work in finance or anything to do with money, possessions, or anything valuable. And it's definitely going to be important to you to earn a good living, to develop and expand your personal worth as far as monetary things go. So once again, that's another neutral spot for a Taurus sign placement, with Jupiter really being the only Earth sign that isn't in a negative spot, unlike Virgo and Capricorn. So it's a good spot for Jupiter. Um, there is a tendency to be too down the earth when it comes to matters of expansion, personal and self growth, as well as anything spiritual or philosophical. They tend to not be as deep versus someone like a Jupiter in Scorpio, which would be a lot deeper, a lot more spiritually expanding. But like I said, overall, a pretty good placement for this Jupiter sign. And yeah, that is it for Jupiter and Mercury in Taurus. Thank you for watching, guys. Please, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, share, follow to get more updates from me daily. May not come every single day, but I will make it up like I am today by doing 2 videos in one. Try to get these videos out as soon as possible, but please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and feel free to follow my social media accounts, and I am posting them in the video description below. Feel free to comment if you have any questions or just any general comments about the video or videos that I've done before. And thank you, everyone, and hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And we'll most likely see you tomorrow then for the great placement of Venus in Taurus. All right, have a great night, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow.